this is a very important issue. We have a new senator representing New York State who we met with yesterday. We had a good conversation with her, and we're hopeful that that conversation will lead to new legislation. The three pieces of legislation that we talked about yesterday with Senator Gillibrand are important efforts to stem the tide of illegal weapons to New York. The first is removing the T-ART restrictions. Right now, law enforcement does not have full and complete access to gun trace data and doesn't have the ability to aggregate or regionalize their requests. The second thing that we spoke about was closing the gun show loophole. As everyone knows, the guns that end up in crime situations in New York State largely come from outside of our state and come from states where there are weak gun laws. In the few cases where the ATF has done trace reports, they have shown that 30% of crime guns come from states where the laws are weaker. And the third prong of our effort on tracing and stopping illegal weapons is microstamping. Last year there was a bill introduced by Senator Kennedy in the Senate, and there was a bill introduced in the House by Carolyn McCarthy. And those microstamping bills, if combined, would allow police officers who pick up shell casings on the scene of the crime to see the serial number of the gun that fired that casing. That would give the police a tremendous edge in investigating and solving